change your tone when we put a sickle to your throat.
Save your threats for your hog-smelling woman.
Right, I'm going to talk to the peasants, because obviously they seem to be the ones kind of more involved in it.
Why is he lingering about? Like the stench in a dwarven hovel?
Those witches be craving gold. This one's sure to say the prince is innocent, then sting Stennis for a pouch.
He better search for a lad who served the Virgin instead of pissing around.
Yeah, once done with the prince, he'd better take care of the magnets, throwing their weight about too much they are.
Did the prince have access to the wine cellar?
The prince stood right next to Saskia during the council. Did he have access to the wine cellar beforehand?
How should I know?
Why flap your mouth then?
The prince is a wealthy lord. Bribing a skivvy to poison the wine is nothing to him.
Just because someone can afford gold teeth doesn't mean they'll pull their healthy ones.
What is this really about?
What's it really all about? Who's backing you?
We want justice.
We don't need no one backing us. We knows what to do.
How would you punish the prince?
If a lad counts hens wrong, he'll be flogged. What should we then do with a man poisoning others?
Kill him.
A land without a ruler is a nightmare.
We have a ruler, the Virgin of Eden.
It's not certain she'll live.
Then we'll choose another who'll manage. But he must be one of us lads. That way he'll understand us.
And all people is gonna be equal. Our way.
And the non-humans?
We have enough dung on the fields. Let non-humans find a non-human land.
Away with them!
Isn't that very much contrary to what Saskia wants and Saskia's fighting for? But do you know the servant?
You know Saskia's servant?
Willie of the Oblates. He handled the wine, indeed, but loves the Virgin like a sister and mother put together.
He'd gladly get quartered for her.
Where's this Willie of yours?
Hiding in his shack, afraid of them lords. Squirrels guard him.
Farewell.
Give us this horsepower!
Rolling dung, you surly dog.
You will change your tone when we put a sickle to your throat.
Save your threats for your hog-smelling woman.
I don't know. I've got to be very careful with who I choose to talk to, because I'm not sure if this is going to be... I'm not sure if this is going to be my... each one is like, I'm not sure if I should talk to them. Hence why I saved it before talking to this fella.
Rolling dung, you surly dog.
You will change your
Well, I think he
tone
kind of
when we
speaks
put
for
a
the
sickle
nobles.
to your throat.
Unless they give
Save
me
your threats for your
like
hog-smelling woman.
The prince has it coming, methinks.
Good. Bloody bastard poisoned the Virgin.
But the thing is, I'm not sure.
Give us this horsepower!
Rolling dung, you surly dog.
You will change your tone when we put a sickle to your throat.
Save your threats for your hog-smelling woman.
Like, the nobles will obviously put forward a contrary view to the peasants. But I think I'll talk to the dwarves, because they seem to be against him, and then we'll see what evidence they can provide.
Serfs and lords will never be on the same.
Can we have a word?
Why not? I'm Ogden, a founder. I cast mugs, plates, chalices. You need any, Witcher?
No thanks. The tableware in the council chamber is your handiwork?
It is. Made it back in Mayor Farragut's time. Since then, each and every goblet has hit the floor dozens of times, and what happened? Nothing, because they're steel. My goblets are indestructible, impervious to both the fury of sovereigns and servants who are all thumbs.
Saskia's chalice was new.
Aye, it was. Back in Mayor Farragut's day, a venture Saskia was no more than an itch in her da's breeches.
Was there anything unusual about the goblet?
Was the order for a normal goblet?
Not a chance. It was supposed to be a gift. I ornamented it richly, even on the inside. Not terribly practical, that, as it's hard to get clean. Some scum is bound to remain. But I wanted it looking downright regal, worthy of our Saskia.
The other chalices were not ornamented on the inside?
Course not.
Who commissions the goblet?
Who ordered the goblet from you?
That goblet was a gift. A way for the folk of Vergen to pay tribute to Saskia. I got the honor of casting and presenting it to our lovely leader. The lass liked it so much, she's not used any other vessel since she received it.
Any chance that two identical goblets were produced?
Any chance there could have been two identical goblets?
Why, there's no craftsman that comes close to me in Vergen.
Could someone have tried to copy your handiwork?
Ha! I know of one who's been trying for years, but he's a fumbler, a screw-up. He's not produced one decent vessel. They all look like the work of a drunken elf. Thorax, his name.
Isn't he the guy with the forge quite close to Baltimore's house? I suspect that's probably not a coincidence.
See you at the inn. We'll grab a beer.
Humans only care how their asses rise as their stations do.
They're playing into Henselt's hands. If they start at each other's throats, we'll have to face the entire amount of kit.
Right, I need to go and talk to this fellow, don't I? No, I don't want royal blood, do I?
You can't mix water with
Give
fire.
us this
horsepower!
Probably took some notes then.
Rolling dung, you
I'd gladly hear your opinion on the situation.
Finally, someone reasonable. It's obvious Henselt bribed some serf who then did what he was told.
Peasant would try to kill Saskia?
The local peasants love Saskia.
Those surly dogs would gleefully accept a heavy pouch. Show me a serf with any sense of honor.
That's interesting.
Just think it through. The prince couldn't have done it. The wine was in plain sight. Only the servants touched the decanters, and who are they? Commoners. Then that same commoner incited his folk to stand against the nobles and the prince.
Something to think about.
Enough of this charade! Try to be reasonable, folks! Sit down and talk in peace!
We've talked enough! Come on, lads, let's drag the prince from his hovel!
Vergen's not a cesspit for anyone to shit in. There are laws to abide, and Scalen Burden's job is to uphold them.
There's no law allowing a serf to threaten a king's scion. I, Silgrat, brother of Seltkirk, the greatest knight to walk Edirnian land, say so.
Does it matter who was born in a castle and who in a pigsty? Any fool can prejudge and condemn. It's easier to accuse than to prove guilt.
A peasant servant claims that Prince Stennis supposedly attempted to kill Saskia. Why would the prince do such a dastardly deed? Bear in mind how eminent is his lineage.
That's why! The mongrel covets the crown!
Do you even remember how valorous he was towards Saskia during the negotiations with Henselt?
Pretending to be with her he was, sly fox. Taking the simple peasants in. But us lads ain't so dumb as you lords think.
See for yourselves how the commoners hate the prince, spitting venom like adders. They hatched a plot to dispose of him.
Saskia's servant said that...
Where is this servant, might I ask? If he's got something to say, why does he hide like a thief? The answer is simple. He's a fraud.
He's hiding to save his skin from you, whoresons. Squirrels have to guard him.
One last question. How could the prince poison Saskia? It's a known fact that servants taste wine from the barrels before the virgin sips it.
No need to poison the wine. Smearing the poison inside the chalice would be enough.
I never heard of anyone poisoning a chalice.
You haven't heard much then. One of the Emperor's forebears died after sampling some lamb. He was always scared of poison and ate supper with his cook. The murderer spread poison on one side of a knife. Then he cut the meat so that only a small piece was poisoned.
The witch is right. Give us Stennis.
Saskia's got her own chalice.
It was commissioned from one of the dwarves. The order came with a very detailed drawing.
Even so, how did it come into Saskia's hand?
I'm not convinced about what. So, the chalice, but...
It's not clear how the prince poisoned the wine.
Whoa!
But that doesn't mean he didn't do it.
I'm not saying he did.
Stennis is blowing hot and cold. Everyone knows that.
You were supposed to prove his guilt, not insult him, yokel.
Tell us who else would do it. A peasant wanting to hurt the miss? Never. It's cause of her you noble dogs can't ignore us. A pig won't cut its own throat. A peasant's not foolish enough to raise his hand against his savior.
Perhaps it is no peasant's deed. However, that doesn't mean the prince is guilty, fool.
Answer me this. Was not Stennis's room next to Saskia's? Do not the wines come from his own lice-ridden cellar? Can he not enter the Virgin's kitchen at will? Yes. His serene Damed the prince can, curses on his kin. Nobody in Vergen wants to kill Saskia. And even if they wanted, nobody but Stennis could do it.
That is guesswork, not evidence.
Those are just words. Too much guesswork and not enough evidence. You can't convict anyone based on that.
Your Highness, this is dangerous.
I am not afraid. Fear is a commoner's trait, unfit for one with royal blood running in his veins. What do you want, to judge me? Is a prince a common thief who steals a dozen eggs at the market? You stand before royal majesty, and you raise your hands against it. In this world there are crimes that can be forgiven, and crimes that, by any means, cannot. Just as a mother killing her own child, or a man slitting his own brother's throat cannot be forgiven. A crime against one anointed by the gods themselves also cannot be condoned. He who raises hand against divine right is not worthy to walk this world.
And what about he who poisons the Virgin of Edern?
Firstly, Saskia is alive, so no one can blame me for her death. Secondly, you have no proof that it was I who tried to murder her. And thirdly, I assure all gathered here, I won't rise above the law. However, only she, the Virgin of Edern, can judge me.
Can he? And if Saskia won't get well, who's gonna judge you?
I believe she can be cured. But if the gods decide otherwise, we'll summon a coven of the wise who can pass just sentence.
Those are words worthy of a true sovereign.
I am the one you should look to for guidance. Let my deeds be the flame that lights up your darkness.
Whoa, 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 what? I don't... Oh... Oh, I see. So I was right in that I can't pick all three. I was thinking, me being a bit silly, it would go, you can talk to two of them, you can talk to maybe two of them. So I think I've spoken to all three of them. You can talk to two of them, and then that's it. You can't talk to a third. At all. Oh. I think the prince is guilty. And I know it's not based on any evidence, because we haven't got any evidence yet, because that's so annoying about this game. It's like, yeah, we're just going to let you just mess up. Again. But, Stennis was like, oh yeah, like, you're accusing me of trying to kill Saskia. Well, one, she's not dead. Two, you haven't actually got any proof I did it. And three, only someone who's in a coma has the right to judge me. It's like, that's just like, He's involved. But
You didn't say a word about your guilt or innocence. You demand justice. You want to summon a coven of the wise. But who will sit on that coven? Any peasants? No, only people you'll nominate yourself.
also this.
Lords whom you'll reward with lands for reaching the right decision. Such men are to decide if you're guilty? No, you are guilty, Prince. You know you are.
So I'm gonna reload. No, I don't want to do this. I want to reload.
The nobles won't forgive them that.
They're a cowardly lot. Yelping's all they're good at.
And backstabbing.
By Stennis's example. His filthy life wasn't taken in vain. Eilhart will get royal blood, and Saskia will be cured.
We need to hurry. We can't keep peace in Vergen with strength alone.
Anything's possible using strength. One just has to know how to use it.
That's your credo?
Saskia's the best leader I know, but she can't hope to defeat Henselt with this rabble.
What do you intend to do?
I'll get reinforcements. The Scoia'tael are more numerous than you think. Time to summon them. I'll leave shortly.
You won't get through the fog.
Okay.
I don't intend to. Mountains may stop human armies, but not the Scoia'tael. I'm going south.
Will you be back in time?
I have to. Va fail, Gwynblade. Don't lose hope.
That was a little bit horrible. But as I said, I'm going to load and go through all the ones. Time is it? So that's probably the one we've just done. Oh, is this going to be just as I'm talking? It probably is, isn't it? Or did I quick save? No, it was an autosave, isn't it?
Enough of this charade!
Nope, 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 nope. Suspect Thorak. That's the one I want. Because I've just picked that up. Okay, so we'll run off and do these side quests. Well, actually, we should probably do them in the order we got them. So, well, they were really waited to build this treachery over. Control led to him to serve for easy access Saskia's chamber. So that's the one we've just got to do.
Who will the Witcher side with?
He's on very good terms with that damned elf.
Maybe he has good intentions, after all. He defended the prince.
I don't know what I'm doing.
They say someone cast a spell,
Greetings.
and the Virgin
There goes
fell
the
as it
peace, eh? Believe me anyway.
I've been looking for you.
I don't know you.
You caused quite a commotion. Afraid of something?
No, nothing.
You're lying.
I didn't do nothing. Didn't say nothing, don't know nothing, and didn't see nothing.
So you know something and you said something. Know anything about the assassination attempt? Well,
Tell me everything you know about the attempt on Saskia's life.
I heard the priest talking with the prince. This goody-goody said the Virgin is really a beast under her fair skin.
What priest?
Olcan, the one killed.
So there's no way I can check if you're lying.
I swear on my mother's grave I speak the truth.
What else did you hear? Tell me.
I was putting Saskia's room in order when the priest came to the prince's chamber next door. It wasn't speaking loud, but I heard the priest say, "Just clear the servants from the kitchen." Nothing more. Reverend Olcan, only he could tell you how it was, beginning to end.
The dead aren't very talkative.
What about what they leave behind? There may be clues or some such.
Maybe.
Or should I
so
be?
forensics.
Get used to it. Lady Saskia will defeat Henselt and make Vergen her capital.